Well, from one home opener, a very successful one in Boston, to potentially another successful one here in Phoenix as the Suns take on Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers. The Suns obviously thinking about a championship. They have added Grant Hill. They've still got Steve Nash, Sean Amare, and Amare Stoudemire. They are loaded. And Hubie, the Kobe Bryant story continues to be maybe the dominant story in the NBA, even though there's really not that much to report in the last 24 hours or so. Here's the starting lineup for the Lakers. Luke Walton, Kwame Brown, and Ronny Turiaf up front. Derek Fisher is back with the Lakers as he joins Kobe Bryant in the backcourt. And for the Phoenix Suns, Grant Hill is awfully excited to be playing for Phoenix. Amare Stoudemire and Sean Amare up front. Steve Nash and Raja Bell in the backcourt. Grant Hill, a big new addition, Hubie, to the Phoenix Sun team. Does his addition potentially take them to another level, the level that they want to get to badly this season?
Well, they're looking for 30 minutes. They know that he'll shoot a high percentage. He fits perfectly in the style of play. He's a slasher, gets to the foul line, and a creator. They're looking for 13 to 15 points a night. They'll get it, providing he stays healthy.
The Lakers 0-1, lost a 2-point game at home Tuesday to Houston. The Phoenix Suns are 1-0, won by 7 in Seattle last night. So they got back here very late. The first of one of a number of back-to-backs for so many teams in the NBA season. Grant Hill says he is feeling as good as he has felt in years. At 13 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists last night, stuffing the stat sheet for the Suns. Being defended right now by Luke Walton. No Lamar Odom for the Lakers. Still out another week or two recovering from shoulder surgery. Steve Nash with a baseline jumper.
When you watch Phoenix, you know they're trying to shoot the ball within 4 to 6 seconds after a missed shot or a basket at the other end of the floor. But they do run a nice half-court offense.
And I know you thought in that game against Seattle last night, he really wore down the Sonics in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's their style. You know, they're only going to play 7 or 8 people, and they're going to live out in the three-point land.
Kobe Bryant will go to the line nice and early. He went there 27 times Tuesday against Houston, a career high for Bryant.
Now, Kobe Bryant throughout his career has always been an 80-plus foul shooter. The other night, uncharacteristically, he missed 9 foul shots. Now you say, well, what's the big deal? That's 66%. Now, we know that he'll take the physical punishment. I like what Shane Battier said the other night when he said, you know, this guy never takes off one possession over a 48-minute game, and that's true.
45 points against Houston, although it wasn't enough for the latest on Kobe Bryant. Let's bring in Rick Bucher. Rick?
Hands and arms. Not a shoot around and on to the bus as he was warming up tonight. He was alone by himself warming up, and then went to the sidelines and watched the rest of his teammates finish up. Whether he's showing it on the court or not, there is clearly a separation between he and the rest of the Lakers.
And Hubie, as a coach, can a team fulfill its potential when there's a separation between its superstar and everybody else?
Listen, that happens on a lot of great teams, depending upon how good that player is. Kobe Bryant is the #1 player in this league. And he's going to come out here and he's going to show everybody until either management takes a no trade or Kobe decides himself, I do not want to be traded. This will be media fodder. But the big thing is night in and night out, he's going to come out here and show you that he's the #1 player in the league.
Well, and interestingly, the Chicago Bulls have said there's nothing going on right now. Mark Cuban has said there's nothing going on right now. But nobody for the Lakers has said much of anything over the last 48 hours or so as they turn it back over to the Suns.
I like what Magic Johnson said the other night on television. We have too many voices speaking for the Los Angeles Lakers. It's not like the old days where Jerry West spoke and it was the one representative. That's what we have to get back to, and I agree 100%.
Amare Stoudemire from Steve Nash, and Phoenix leads by 2. The highest scoring team in the league last year, the Phoenix Suns, and with the addition of Grant Hill, maybe looking to even exceed those numbers this year, and Hill had a golden opportunity slip through his fingertips.
Well, he was looking for the pass that time, Dan. You could see he lifted his eyes rather than catch the ball first. We know that when Nash is in the open court, it's easy to say, make him pick up his dribble. He is the best that we have in the NBA in keeping his dribble.
The Suns have won 10 of their last 12 in the regular season against the Lakers. Plus, they have eliminated the Lakers from the playoffs each of the last 2 seasons. Grant Hill going right by Luke Walton and count the bucket. Somebody got a fingertip on that ball up above the cylinder. All the Lakers are looking around like, who's the call on? But count the basket for Grant Hill.
Well, we had 2 whistles on that. 2 referees both had it right there. There's your hit. and one on the right side and one on the left side. They both got the infraction.
Must have been Turioff, although he was pleading his innocence. 6-2 Phoenix early. Fisher using the screen, dumps it back off to Kobe Bryant, up and under and out. Now Bryant defending Nash at this end of the floor.
Excellent ball movement. They passed the ball quickly from side to side.
Out there for Stoudemire, rebound Kobe Bryant.
This is a game where the Lakers have got to get some easy baskets.
Shawn Marion's off to the races. Easy basket for the Suns.
Well, the Matrix man is a stat man, and he's always in the top 10 in steals and in rebounding. And he's just, when he's in the open court, one of the best finishers we have.
Mike D'Antoni, head coach of Phoenix, telling us before the game, although Marion was a little disgruntled in the summer, upset as Walton Banks at home, upset about a lack of an extension and some trade rumors. He said not for one moment has Shawn Marion been moody in practices or games so far this season.
Shawn Marion is a game person, and one of the best that we have in filling up all the stats.
Walton long on the jumper, and it'll be Phoenix basketball. Now there it is, one of just 3 players in the NBA last year with more than 100 steals and more than 100 blocks, and he led the Suns in each of those categories.
Well, he's just an outstanding performer. Not only that, for his size, he's outmatched every night. He's giving away anywhere from 2 to 6 inches at that position. Power forward, he still rebounds, and then also he's excellent in blocking shots. He's going to shoot a high percentage for you, and he'll always be around that 18 to 20 point game per night.
Luke Walton couldn't get the ball in, so forced to call a timeout. We are in the early stages here in Phoenix, and Shawn Marion is off to a high-flying start tonight for the Suns.
Are you saying right here on this show that you want to be traded?
Yeah, I would like to be traded, yeah.
Fans out there wondering, what's your status with the Lakers? Have you played your final game as a Laker? Will you be a Laker when the season starts?
I don't know. Talk to Mitch and Mr. Buck about that, man. I don't know. I'm just getting ready.
Do you think you'll play this whole season with the Lakers?
I don't know. I'm not Nostradamus. I don't know. I'm not going to get in there here.
It's better sooner than later, in my estimation. Let's get settled and figure out what is going to happen, or if nothing's going to happen, and then go from there.
Well, that might be the only thing everybody can agree on. It's better sooner than later. Dan Schulman, Hubie Brown, Rick Bucher back with you in Phoenix. The Lakers and Suns, nothing has happened, and maybe talks are still going on behind the scenes, but all is somewhat quiet right now as Derek Fisher knocks down a jumper. Let's bring Rick Bucher back in on this. Rick, do you see a resolution in the short term? Can this situation be resolved?
Not in terms of keeping Kobe Bryant in L.A. The driving force here is that he wants to play on a team that has a chance to win a title, and the Lakers simply can't do that right now.
Chicago Bulls John Paxson has said, hey, right now all is quiet. There have been talks between the two teams. I think everybody acknowledged that. Fisher with another jumper from the corner. Hubie, what do you think? I mean, can he be traded? Can the Lakers get fair value?
Look, he could be traded, all right? But except for one thing, we just don't know which teams will continue to pursue this, mainly since the season started. Now, will they take a different look at this before the trade deadline when they get near the end of January? All right, so then you move into, let's say, some of them will reevaluate where they are. It could happen then. Right now, I don't trade this guy. This guy, to me, once they get Lamar Odom back, they've had a growth within some of their younger players. You say, well, they can't win a championship. No, that's right, because they're going to be battling New Orleans as well as Golden State for that 7th and 8th spot to make the playoffs. But still in all, you're dealing with the #1 guy in the league, and the big thing is you're paying him $19.5 million to come out here and do his performance, and you can count on it because he's going to come out and play hard.
Nash misses a 3 at the other end. Derek Fisher has gotten hot. He's become the #1 offensive guy so far tonight for the Lakers, making 3 consecutive shots to get him back within 2.
Yeah, the Lakers started off with a rough day. Yeah, we're 1 for 6 with a couple of turnovers, so that's 8 possessions. They got to get back to their game. Right now, Phoenix is doing an excellent job in double-teaming post play or any dribbler down in the painted area.
The handoff from Hill to Nash. Nash's floater just a little bit short, kept alive by Stoudemire, but brought down by Kwame Brown.
Now Nash can go around that screen and get down in the lane every time. Kwame Brown has not even stepped out one time to help out.
What's gotten into Derek Fisher 4 in a row, and he's tied the game.
Yeah, but Derek can do that. He's a street player. He plays with a ton of confidence, and all the shots are within his range.
After the last 3 seasons, 2 with Golden State, then last year with the Utah, now back with the LA Lakers, signed a 3-year deal.
Now, game 1 for the Lakers at home versus Houston, one of the top teams that we have. Now, here's Fisher knocking in another shot. We know that he's off and running, and we're very happy for him because he's one of the great players that we have in the league, and especially under pressure. And now that he's the president of the Players Association, he's got a little swagger. Okay, so watch out.
Changes for Phoenix. Boris Diaw is into the game. Leandro Barbosa with the ball right now, the 6th man in the NBA, top 6th man in the league a year ago. And Jordan Farmar, who's just checked in for the Lakers, might have gotten a piece of that shot.
Yeah, he got a piece of it.
Kobe with a pull-up. And the Lakers go up by 2. Barbosa with that great speed. Beats the defense down the floor and will go to the line.
Now that is a perfect example of what happens when you score. When you score, and if you're not going to challenge the inbound pass, they just were fouled within 4 seconds. Now just watch this. As this ball comes up, right away, Nash is looking. There goes the runner. All right, now as soon as that happened, only 4 seconds went off the shot clock. That's the pressure that they put on you. Then, even though when that ball is in the middle of the floor, you're not out of the woods. You might stop that dribbler, but they have 2 guys who run to the 2 corners. That's where they kill you with the 3-point shot as we move through quarters 1, 2, 3, and 4. They wear you down by that 4th quarter. Watch out for the 3s.
Outstanding numbers for Barbosa a year ago. As mentioned, the NBA's 6th man of the year. Misses both free throws, so it remains 14-12 Lakers. Phoenix has gone 7 deep thus far, and they generally won't go a whole lot deeper than that. 8, maybe 9, in spite of the style of play they've got. Brown's jump hook. He's got a size advantage on Diaw, but couldn't convert.
Yeah, see, you can't go away from the basket, Dan. You've got to take them to the basket. They have no shot blockers out there. So what you have to do is go take them strong. Do not throw a fadeaway jump shot.
Diaw with the extra pass. And again.
There it is.
And again. Diaw, the offensive rebound, and a fresh 24 for the Suns.
Now, they didn't make the hit, but the passing is beautiful.
Raja Bell, it's not there. They're getting good looks. They're just not dropping.
Well, that's their game. They'll go 2 and 3 extra passes to free up a man.
Walt with a nice feed, but Kwame Brown could not get a shot off.
Now, you got to do something over there. Either set a screen or post up.
Kobe getting booed as he touches the ball. Buries a 3. Lakers by 5.
The worst thing you can do in an opposing billing is boo the best player. Because then what he does is he plays to his maximum potential.
Well, that bucket has not been friendly to the Suns as Nash's jumper rings out. At the other end, Kobe again. Lakers by 7.
Aren't you liking this triangle offense? I mean, does that make you laugh or what?
And a travel. The triangles give it to that guy. Let him shoot the ball.
Yeah, this is Kobe's getting the ball. Get out of the way. I'm taking my man one-on-one. Distance is not a factor, whether it's a 3 or a 2. I'm just raising up and I'm shooting in his face.
An 11-0 run for the Lakers, spearheaded by initially Derek Fisher, more recently Kobe Bryant. Kobe not only went to the foul line 27 times against Houston Tuesday, he also took 32 shots, making 13 of them. The fadeaway from Luke Walton not there.
I say Luke Walton said, I got hit right on my elbow. And we all know that a lot of players will do that. They'll tap you on the elbow on a fadeaway jump shot.
Nash penetrates all the way to the rim.
Yeah, that's where he's great. He can finish in the paint or make a sensational pass if you close the lane.
2-time MVP and the runner-up to his good buddy Dirk Nowitzki last year. Nice 2-man game, and Jordan Farmar, second-year player out of UCLA, lays it in.
See, the cutter's open for the Lakers, Dan. But when the cutter is open, he's got to go hard to the rim.
Nash again. This time it won't go down. A rebound, Kobe, and Nash hollering that he got pushed.
This is really a battle, okay? We all know that Raja Bell and Kobe Bryant have a history of not only fisticuffs, but a lot of cheap play, a lot of elbowing and that, but there's great respect because Raja Bell is one of the best defenders that we have in the league, and then naturally the other guy is an assassin, and he wants every call.
How do you like to be Raja Bell? He has to defend Kevin Durant last night, Kobe Bryant tonight. The Lakers up early here in Phoenix.
NBA tip-off, presented by Converse.
Back here in Phoenix, the Lakers and the Suns, and Kobe Bryant off to a good start. The Lakers are up by 7 here to the U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix. A difficult situation, obviously, for Phil Jackson, Kobe Bryant, the Lakers to try to manage their way through this. But in spite of the fact that Kobe Bryant wants to get traded, Phil Jackson has no doubt about the effort that Bryant will give as long as he is a Laker.
Kobe's a competitor. He's a winner. He's going to try as hard as he can. It's about, the idea of including, the inclusiveness, even if they're making mistakes, to, include them in the game so that they gain confidence in playing. And, he's going to go 1 against 5 if it has to be, if no one else wants to take the challenge. But we want him to also include his teammates in it and, do the things that count. And I've been pleasantly pleased with how he's performed since that particular day when things kind of closed down for us. And, he just said, I'm ready, I'm here, and I'm going to be present.
And he was certainly present Tuesday against Houston, and he's certainly present right now. The beautiful feed to Jordan Farmar, and the Lakers have a 9-point lead on the Phoenix Suns. The Suns a little ragged at the offensive end, and we'll have a jump ball.
Yeah, first of all, that was a very poor pass by Banks. And unfortunately, they could not make the catch on the wing. Now, I like what we're seeing from the Lakers. The Lakers have been very aggressive. Now, when they played Houston in their opener, Dan, they had 16 steals. That is a ton. Now, Kobe led them with 4, but the rest of these guys, they just have to pick it up defensively. Last year, they scored 103 points a game. Their problem is they don't defend.
Steve Nash is not in the game right now for Phoenix, so Marcus Banks is in there as Farmar absorbs the hit and will go to the line. A much improved Jordan Farmar, second-year player out of UCLA, in great shape, worked on his shot a lot and getting some pretty good minutes. And the Lakers, a team, when Lamar Odom comes back, if Kobe stays, do they have the talent to still compete for a playoff spot? Is there upside for this team?
No, absolutely. We know we have a top 6 out there in the West. And then you have Golden State, New Orleans, and the Lakers are the next 3 fighting for spots 7 and 8. Now, we all know that when Lamar Odom comes back, right now you put down 15 points and 10 rebounds in cement. He's going to do that. And then at playoff time, he elevates his game. Last year, sure, they lost to Phoenix. They lost to a better team. Lamar Odom still came in with 19 points a game and did his job. The problem is that when you play Phoenix, Kobe and Lamar are not enough. What you need now, you need contributions by a third guy, and then can you rebound the ball? They have a lot of young players here. They have a lot of young, talented guys, and they have to understand that they got to take care of the defensive board first, and then, hey, how about some offensive rebounding also?
Well, for more on Kobe Bryant and his situation, again, back to Rick Bucher, Rick.
And the idea that Kobe can't stay in L.A. because Jerry West is now in L.A., and that's the guy that he wanted to see there back in the front office. Jerry hurt his shoulder, so the golf game is gone, and I hear that he's itching to get back in the league.
Leandro Barbosa with a long jumper to bring Phoenix back within 9. And again, over the last 24 hours or so, all is quiet on the Kobe Bryant front, although that is obviously subject to change. How about the sweet passing play? And Javaris Crittenton, a rookie out of Georgia Tech, with a layup.
Remember we said earlier, Dan, if the Lakers will throw the ball into the post and cut hard, whether they cut on the baseline or into the lane from the top of the circle, they are going to be open. Because in the early going, Phoenix is double teaming hard and they're giving you the passing lane.
Barbosa at the line for Phoenix. A look at the NBA calendar now on NBA TV. Saturday night it will be the Houston Rockets. Tracy McGrady, a monster night last night in Utah. They'll take on Portland Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern on NBA TV. Next Wednesday, a doubleheader here on ESPN. Miami is in San Antonio. Hubie and I will be in Salt Lake City as the Jazz host LeBron and the Cavs. Thursday night on TNT, big Eastern Conference matchup between the Pistons and the Bulls, and then Dallas and Golden State in the second game. Look at the lineup on the floor right now for the Lakers, and it's exactly what Kobe Bryant has been talking about. There's talent, but they are very young. You've got Bynum, who just turned 20. You've got Crittenden, a rookie. You've got Farmar in his second year in the league. There's a lot of upside here, but is there enough right now for them to be a contending team?
No, well, the big thing is you got to let time for them to get experience and growth, for them to be able to work on their inefficiencies. So consequently, come on, this is all a team game, and it's also a coaching game. Now, that was a beautiful pass, a great catch. This guy Bynum's got a ton of talent, man.
Bynum started well last year, kind of faded down the stretch. We saw him a week ago in the preseason game against Sacramento in Las Vegas. And granted, the Kings don't have the most imposing interior players in the league, but Bynum really showed some things in the second half of that game.
He's 19 years old. I mean, we have to keep coming back to this, okay? And we're talking now that he's 7 foot. He's just added 30-some-odd pounds over the summer. You can see after what he did after the All-Star game. He gave you good points. Now, last year, in the first 14 games of the season, he was averaging right at double figures and getting you 7 to 8 rebounds and playing less than half a game. So that alone would tell you that this kid is blessed. Now it's going to come down to, does he want it as badly as the coaching staff wants it for him?
Kwame Brown's been starting. Bynum getting a lot of minutes. Chris Mim is inactive tonight, the other big man for the Lakers. And again, Bynum with a nice feed, and Vladimir Radmanovic will get the friendly bounce. And the Lakers are all over the Phoenix Suns here late in the first quarter.
One thing you know, though, Dan, as sure as we're sitting here, they will be coming back. Okay.
Banks short on the three. You're exactly right. Banks had 4 threes last night up in Seattle. Crittenden with a pull-up. Nice soft touch from the rookie.
Oh, he has a nice game. They like this game. The size, the fact that he can dribble it, and he can score the basketball.
The Lakers are shooting 61% from the field. Barbosa on the drive.
Can't let him go there. You can't let him take it from the left wing into the middle of the floor. Send him to the baseline where you're going to get more help.
Got a 2-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. And again, the crowd letting Kobe Bryant have it every time he touches the ball.
Nice.
Farmar. Not there. 2 seconds left. And that will bring the first quarter to a close here in Phoenix. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers on the road, playing well early, and with a double-digit lead on the high-flying Phoenix Suns. Lakers 33, Suns 20 at the end of one here in Phoenix.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Tip-Off, presented by Converse. The Wade 3 basketball shoe won't silence the doubters. You had to do that. And in part by Mitsubishi Motors, driven to thrill. And LG, life's good.
The Phoenix Suns care about the community. Guard Steve Nash recently joined volunteers from Bank of America to begin construction on one of 18 solar-roofed houses that will be part of the first neighborhood of homes built by Habitat for Humanity, utilizing solar technologies. The NBA, where caring happens. Steve Nash and Yao Ming, also part of a group of NBA players that went over to China and raised a lot of money for charity and for children and education over there during the offseason. A lot of changes now as Brian Cook's come in, Maurice Evans in for the Lakers as well. Nash remains on the bench for Phoenix. Grant Hill has returned and stolen by Stoudemire.
Stoudemire is one of the better centers in the league that we have in stealing the basketball. You can see he suckered that second pass in.
Banks, the kick to Marion, the three.
Well, the fans were waiting. The #1 3-point shooting team in the league was 0 for 5 in the first quarter. But then again, Barbosa, an 80% foul shooter throughout his career, just went 0 for 4 on the foul line along with it.
Some strange in the air here in
absolutely.
Phoenix. Farmar getting a lot of minutes early tonight for the Lakers. Nearly stolen. Barbosa forced the turnover.
Well, we had just had 2 bad passes. And when you're second unit, guys aren't accustomed to working with one another. Now, in that first quarter, the LA guards, the 4 guards, were 11 for 14 in that quarter. That's an incredible stat.
Banks a little short on the elbow jumper. There's not a starter in the game right now for the Lakers. So this is truly the second unit right now for Phil Jackson. Bynum with a nice assertive move.
Anytime that you have Radmanovic and Cook in there, 2 excellent 3-point shooters, and they throw the ball into Bynum, Bynum will get single coverage.
Sean Marion again from outside.
Going back 3-4 years ago, Sean Marion was a really excellent 3-point shooter. It's kind of gone away from his game. He'll take them, shoot it decent, but it was more prevalent in his game a little while back.
And we have a defensive 3-second call on the Suns as you get another look at Marion's second 3-pointer of the night. Radmanovic will shoot the technical for the Lakers. Marion unhappy, as we mentioned. Requested a trade, but has not let it get in the way of his effort, Mike D'Antoni told us. And, having a Grant Hill around, having a Steve Nash on the team, guys who can say, hey, this is a pretty good situation. Great weather, got a chance to win a championship, a fun style of basketball to play, and Marion seems to be relatively content right now. Evans a miss, Bynum an offensive rebound.
This group out on the floor for the Lakers has just got to understand one thing. Please, we do not want to live with the jump shot.
Radmanovic with a 3.
Well, he can shoot it. This guy, when he was in Seattle, when we were at Memphis, he wore us out.
Now a Phoenix turnover. They are struggling right now to the Marion with Nash on the bench. An offensive foul against the Lakers.
Well, the Cutters have been killing Phoenix until that charge right there. That's the first time that they picked up and sacrificed the body on the cutter to the basket.
Radmanovic called for the foul. How important is Banks to the Suns' cause this year?
Well, he gives them the speed with Barbosa. What they're looking for him now, the young man can score the basketball. He had 12 last night. But the key thing with him is decisions with the basketball. Do not shoot it too early if you don't have a high percentage shot. And then they question his decisions. 1 against 2, 1 against 3. Don't force the basketball. We have great players here. Make the extra pass.
Banks called for the foul. Look at what the Laker bench has done here tonight. Getting great contributions from this second unit. Bynum, Farmar, Radmanovic, Kobe Bryant getting arrested. The Lakers still enjoying a 13-point lead on the road. Bynum in a lot of traffic up and in.
Now, he just shot that easily over the top of Amare Stoudemire. Stoudemire is back with the scoring, shooting percentage in that, but the shot blocking is questionable. Can he get up and challenge?
Bynum 3 for 3 from the floor.
Oh, look at this.
He's the go-to guy right now for the Phoenix Suns.
The Matrix man can do it all. And that's what he keeps telling you, by the way. But he's on the All-NBA, either second or third team year after year.
A very unique talent.
Yes.
Farmar baseline. Evans passed up the shot. Radmanovic will not. His second 3 of the night.
The guy is 6'8", 6'9", and it's effortless with him. Once he gets it going, look out.
9 points off the bench for Radmanovic. At the other end, Hill is fouled on his way to the hoop. Well, we started off tonight talking about Kobe Bryant, and would he get enough help for this team to be a solid NBA team? So far tonight, the answer is a definitive yes.
15-5 run. Dan Shulman, Hubie Brown, back to you guys.
All right, Stuart, how about that? Andre Iguodala and the Sixers coming up with a big road win in Chicago. The Lakers trying to pull off an upset on the road here tonight. They're playing some great basketball so far in this game, Hubie, mainly because Kobe Bryant is getting a lot of help as we check out the Adidas team moment for the Lakers.
Now there you have Derek Fisher knocking in a long jumper, and down inside, a beautiful pass to Bynum, good hands, and then Radmanovic. Now take those 3 players, Fisher, Bynum, Radmanovic. They are only 10 for 11 from the field. Not bad.
Our Adidas team moment, and Kobe Bryant enjoys a little longer rest on the bench. He has been out for quite a while for the Lakers. Steve Nash has just checked back into the game and out for the Suns. And you can see Kobe Bryant with 9, the rest of the team with 35. Remember how Bryant was the offense Tuesday in the loss to Houston. Grant Hill at the line, 6 years with Detroit, 7 with Orlando. So many injuries during his time with the Magic. A guy who desperately wants to win a championship, and a guy who has averaged 20 points per game in his career. And Huey Mike D'Antoni said before the game, you know what, 30 minutes, 15 to 20 points. He thinks Grant Hill's going to do what he's always done.
Well, if he stays healthy, he'll do that for you. But let's face it, last year he only played in 65 games, right? And that's the problem, because they need him to be available at least 70 to 75 games for them.
Kwame Brown is fouled by Brian Skinner, who has checked into the game in the middle for the Suns. No more Kurt Thomas for Phoenix this year. What's Brian Skinner's job?
Well, Brian Skinner, let's face it, right now, if they go to their bench and they need a big man, it's between Skinner and Mark. Skinner gives you, he's been in the league 10 times, but he's been with 9 different teams. He's a shot blocker, rebound. That's all he's got to do. Just do his job.
Radmanovic with a good position on the interior, and he is having a big-time night. 11 points already for Vladimir Radmanovic.
When you look at these young guys on this second unit, they have some guys who can score the basketball. That's why you keep saying, anytime you coach in this league and you see this kind of talent, you wonder, hey, they can score. Why can't they defend night in and night out?
Raja Bell misses the 3. How about they can pass? 9 different Lakers have an assist already in this game. Here's Luke Walton posting up. Left hand, yes.
Now, that was a pretty move. Mainly because we know that the only shot blocker out there for Phoenix is Marion. And that time, Luke Walton, he fooled him by going with that left hand.
The Laker bench is up, celebrating, high-fiving, enjoying a 17-point lead on the road in Phoenix. Bell is fouled.
Yeah, but the defense has been much better, Dan, than what we saw in Vegas. All right, now just keep an eye. Watch this right here. See, that was just a beautiful finish with the left hand. The rotator coming on the baseline was late for the trap.
48-31 Lakers. Raja Bell will go to the line now for Phoenix. A tenacious defender, a very good three-point shooter. Have you shopped the all-new NBAstore.com? You'll find more fan gear than ever before, and right in time for tip-off. Visit NBAstore.com, where wearing the dream happens.
When you look at the schedule in the NBA, we have to remember, Phoenix played last night in Seattle. Well, when you look at the map, Seattle is not going from New York to Philadelphia, okay? When you go Seattle to Phoenix, you're talking about a journey, right?
And they had a tough game last night.
That's right.
Trailed for much of the night before they pulled it out late and won 106-99. Didn't get home to the middle of the night. Kwame Brown follows the miss, and again, and it's blocked. And Brown one more time, blocked again. Count the basket, a goal 10 on Skinner.
See, that's what Skinner can do for you. Throughout his career, he's an excellent rebounder and an excellent shot blocker. Not a big offensive guy, he just plays within what he's doing. But he can help because of the shot blocker.
Grant Hill with a pull-up. And the putback is good by Skinner.
Big question. Coaches, you look at it, Lakers are playing perfect. Can they sustain shooting over 60%? Absolutely not. Can they continue this pace that they're playing at for 4 quarters? Because you know Phoenix will keep it up.
They are getting quality time out of their bench and a lot of rest for Kobe Bryant. Derek Fisher was hot early. He knocks down another one. He's into double figures. Fisher 5 of 5. Nash slithers to the basket.
Once again, Kwame Brown never stepped out to help. I see Phil Jackson. He's up and he's really yelling at him. And he deserves it because that's the 3rd time that he did not help on Nash down the middle.
Maurice Evans with a 12-footer. And Phoenix does not have an answer for the Lakers at the defensive end right now.
Well, you know, we know that Evans has had an excellent second half of the year last year. Excellent exhibition season. And unfortunately, he got hurt near the end of the exhibition. But this young guy's got some talent.
Fisher fouls Nash to take us to a timeout. Phil Jackson doesn't look very happy, but the Lakers are up 17 on Phoenix.
Dan and Hubie.
All right, Stuart, thank you. Hubie, I'd like your thoughts on the Seattle situation. Such a great NBA city and so much tradition there for so many years, and it looks like it's coming to an end.
Well, it's only going to come to an end because they're saying that we want to move the team.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it, the city is now suing them for thinking that because they're going to hold them to the 3-year contract, which in the future. So consequently, it's going to come down to the courts. As you and I know, we have no idea how that's going to turn out. So, but at least the new ownership is taking a stand. You do not want to put the money into building a new building. Well, then, okay, then we want to move the team. The team is going to say, hey, listen, we have a lot of tradition here. We've had great players. We've had great teams. We won an NBA championship. We have supported professional basketball in the city all these years. We have great fans. Who are you to make us move at this time?
So one of the ongoing stories as the NBA season opens. Kobe Bryant has checked back into the game, maybe the dominant story. The Lakers, by the way, even with those 2 free throws, have taken them away because Kobe's back on the floor. So the Lakers' second unit, without Kobe Bryant on the floor at all, outscored the Suns 21-17 in the first 6 minutes and 20 seconds or thereabouts of the second quarter. Some good work from the Laker bench. Fisher right into traffic, and it'll stay to the Lakers, 9 to shoot.
But then you have to look at the second unit for the Lakers and say, look, they can't shoot like this every night. The bench came in and were 12 for 15, and Radmanovic was 2 for 2 in threes. Now that is a heavy, heavy production.
Radmanovic and Farmar and Bynum, all with great contributions off the bench. Evans, Crittenden, everybody got in on the act.
I like the ball movement. We're getting it at both ends of the floor. Unfortunately, Phoenix, the best shooting team that we have in the league, can't throw it in the ocean tonight.
For the second time, the Lakers can't get the ball in.
Good point. Very good point. So that means one thing. Not only are they defending the out-of-bounds well, but how about screening people? You're missing the screens here.
Well, you can't blame Luke Walton. He's one of the best passers around, but he had to call another timeout. ESPN's NBA Friday is available on ESPN HD, presented by Olivia. With Hubie Brown and Rick Bucher, Dan Shulman are back with you here in Phoenix. The Lakers up by 15 on the Suns. Phoenix's home opener. Skinner the kick. Bell wide open for 3. Phoenix Sun basketball.
Now, that's what we told you early in the game. If you notice, they had that break going, that both corners were covered. You take it in, and then nothing, kick it right to the corner, and you're wide open.
Tough pull-up. Drops for Kobe Bryant right in the face of Bell.
Oh, this is just a great matchup. We're talking 2 outstanding athletes going head-to-head.
Nash with a fadeaway. A high arcing jumper that won't go down. Rebound Bryant. Now a switch, and Marion is on Kobe Bryant.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Kobe lost the handle on his way up. Numbers for the Suns.
3 seconds. That was close.
Stoudemire, double team. And a foul.
The reason why you get upset if you're a defender right there, they had a trap on. The rest of the players are looking at Stoudemire. Come on, we have 3 people out here, and you're not passing the basketball. You see, that's when the other players who are playing with you get upset, because you could have easily passed the ball right over the head of Derek Fisher.
Sasha Vujacic will come in for the Lakers. It's the 3rd foul on Derek Fisher, and Vujacic entering the game means that Phil Jackson has used all 12 players at his disposal already. Phoenix has used 9, and that might be about as deep as they will go. Shot clock is at 5. Stoudemire. Shot clock at 1. No basket. Would not have counted.
Well, you see, that time Stoudemire took a dribble. He didn't need to dribble. All he had to do was pass out because they had the advantage once again. They had a 2-on-1 on the left side of the floor. Both guys could have shot an easy 3.
Why do the Suns look out of sync offensively, sir?
Well, I would say, well, number one is a fatigue factor. There's no doubt about it from last night, the travel. We all know that they got home at like between 3:30 and 4 in the morning.
No call on the drive by Kobe. He gets it back and misses the short jumper.
Nice.
Marion again and is fouled.
This is one of the Achilles heel when you talk about the Lakers last year and the year before, and they must correct it. First of all, transition defense and then rebounding. So you don't give up on the play. They assumed that basket was going to be made. You had 3 shirts right there, and you do not come up with the rebound.
Another missed free throw by the Suns, who are really struggling offensively. Log on to ESPN.com/NBA right now, and you can vote who will win the Western Conference. Do you like San Antonio, Dallas, who won it during the regular season last year, Phoenix, or another team? Maybe Houston, maybe Utah, maybe Denver. Log on to ESPN.com.
And I tell you, when you say those 6 names, anyone can happen here. You get an injury to one of your top 3, you might slide.
Kobe again, not there. Long rebound out of bounds to the Suns.
Pressure right now on the Lakers. They have to be very conservative here in this last 3 minutes. You have to be careful now. No forcing shots. You know, you can work the clock if you want to. But the key is you do not want Phoenix to get a little run on it.
The Suns trailed Seattle most of the night last night and rallied late in the 3rd and into the 4th to win the game.
Now that's Nash at his best. He reads the pick and roll as well as anyone that we have in the game. And then the fact that when he's going to his left, he's the most dangerous because he passes so well with his left hand.
Second foul on Torioff sends Stoudemire to the line. Steve Nash has led the NBA in assists each of the last 3 years. He's won the MVP twice, was the runner-up a year ago, although you can make a case that he might have had his best season last year, but still finished second in MVP balloting. Excuse me, Skinner at the line for Phoenix, not Stoudemire.
Yeah, Skinner has made himself, presentable here. He has stepped up not only at the defensive end, but he's rolled himself into some nice catches. Oh,
yeah, followed by Kwame Brown.
Yeah, that's what we want to see from you, big fella. Come on now, it isn't like you don't have the tools. You got to get out working now, working the glass.
6'11", 270, former first overall pick by Washington, 7th year in the NBA. Nash from the elbow. Skinner again has it blocked. 2 separate Lakers got a piece of that shot. Brown wants the basketball. Vujicic will swing it around. Kobe Bryant with 9 on the shot clock. Torioff, what a feed to Walton.
Well, Torioff and Walton really work well together. They look for one another, and they both make nice passes.
The Lakers putting on a passing exhibition here tonight. Marion's 3 has been the best offensive weapon for the Suns tonight, but not there. The crowd somewhat stunned, you would have to think, by the way this game has gone so far in the first half.
Roger Bell is really upset. He thought that they played him well, but he was fouled not only by Roger Bell, but also by Skinner. Now just keep an eye right here. This is just a great follow-up. Now keep an eye on this. This is Lakers doing their best. They're challenging underneath, and this is a terrific pass down inside to a baseline back door by Walton.
Jeff Gordon is just 3 races away from a possible 5th NASCAR Next Up Cup championship. But Smart Racing has Jimmy Johnson just 9 points back as he chases his 2nd straight title. The duel continues in Texas Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
And the chase for the Nextel Cup has never been closer between the top 2 with just 3 races remaining. A couple of teammates within 9 points of one another. It comes your way. The next race from the Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth. Sunday at 3 Eastern, live on ABC. 60-44 for the Los Angeles Lakers. The home opener for the Phoenix Suns has not gone according to plan thus far.
Well, they're struggling with their shooting percentage, only 40, the #1 shooting team in the league, and they're struggling on the line. They missed 6 foul shots, but they've attempted 16.
The Lakers also out-rebounding Phoenix 25-15 so far.
Yeah, that's big.
Vujicic. Kobe with the offensive rebound, the acrobatic attempt. He stares down one of the officials looking for a call. Hill right to the defender, draws the call.
Now, I would be all upset, and I looked over and Phil Jack he's definitely has and you know what? This is sad because the defender took that right in the chest. There was no way that Grant Hill had him beat. Phil Jackson is up. He's got to be careful out there. He doesn't get it. Now just watch this. The defender played it perfectly. Took it right in the chest. No doubt, no question at all. That was a charge.
And another missed free throw. The personal went on Radmanovic. The technical was on Luke Walton for arguing the call. Phil Jackson not happy. Moving around a little bit better than he was when we saw him a week ago after his second hip replacement. He's no longer using a cane, but you can see he's sitting in kind of an elevated chair there to ease his discomfort.
Well, you know, you go back a year. Last year, Phoenix, first in field goal percentage, first in three-point shooting percentage, first in foul shooting, 81%. That's why tonight it's just unbelievable that they've missed so many.
A 14-point lead for the Lakers as Bryant brings it into the front court. The Lakers 0-1, the Suns 1-0 in the young season. The ball deflected. Kobe got it back. And we have a defensive.
They were right to boo, okay? That just bailed them out because Kobe right down in that corner was looking up. If they called another timeout, that would have been 3 where twice they couldn't inbound the ball, and then right there he had no one to pass the ball to. That was a great bailout, but it makes up for the other end because Grant Hill never should have had 2 foul shot attempts. Now keep an eye on this. See, they get up, they strip him down, and they cut him off good. All right, now they're calling right there at the circle. You can see in the lane, the man who was playing the player in the opposite corner was standing in the lane.
Got to be guarding somebody in there. Double team on Kobe, and the errant pass out of bounds.
Radmanovic moved. See, Radmanovic moved. He was wide open in that corner.
Coming up with the Toyota halftime show, back to the studio, and Stuart Scott will tell you about LeBron breaking out tonight. An impressive debut up in Boston, and Bills 3-pointers coming your way as well.
Hey, now you want to make sure one thing. No 3. Oh, give it up. Give it up.
Vujicic will not give it up and will be fouled.
Now he comes to the huddle. You got to tell him. And Kobe Bryant, as the team leader, you got to tell him. Pass the basketball. All right, that just cost us an uncontested. Right away, give it up.
Walton was ahead of him.
Yeah, and why? Because Luke Walton is the most unselfish passer that they have on this basketball team. When a guy is ahead of you, give the ball up. You just put yourself in a position now you got to make 2 foul shots.
Vujicic now bidding to become the 10th different Laker to score here tonight. Stuart Scott, Bill Walton, Stephen A. Smith coming up on the Toyota halftime report. And game 1 of our ESPN doubleheader tonight. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen enjoyed a rather lopsided win over the Washington Wizards. Lopsided in a surprising direction here late in the first half tonight in Phoenix. Nash with a pull-up.
And that was just a miscommunication on that screen and roll defensively. The Lakers got messed up and they end up no one on Nash.
A dozen for Steve Nash. Surprisingly, just 1 assist in the first half for Nash. But a 5-second difference between the game clock and shot clock.
They're going to have plenty of time now. They're going to run it right back at you.
And Kwame Brown called for the illegal screen.
See, that's a combination of the dribbler waiting for the man setting the screen to stop. You know, and it's an emphasis of the referee. They're not going to let you run a moving screen.
Final possession of the half to the Suns, and Nash is fouled as Radmanovic stepped out on him. He hit the shot, but obviously that'd be a lot of continuation. Number 3 on Radmanovic, and Nash to the line.
Steve Nash at the line, plus the penalty for 2 shots.
Now, there's no doubt about the foul. There was definite contact from the lower body, you know, maybe by 3 or 4 guys, even though only 2 were in the picture. All right? The big thing is, now, see, he just gave him 2 points rather than a shot. See, coaches want the perfect defensive play. But right now, you have plenty of time to get off a decent shot, 4.9 seconds.
Nash, one of the best free throw shooters in the history of the league, almost 90% career.
Fan out now, fan out.
Kobe for three. A very good first half for the Los Angeles Lakers, coming in here to Phoenix, shooting an extraordinary percentage and leading by 13 at halftime. 63-50. Rick Bucher is standing by with Kobe Bryant.
What part of the game plan came through for you?
We're just playing well. Moving the ball, executing pretty well. But offense, come and go. We're doing a pretty good job defensively in terms of giving them tough shots.
And what do you expect them to do in the second half in terms of adjustments?
They'll increase the tempo. They try to push the ball a lot harder, run their sets a little bit faster, and we have to be prepared to step up our intensity.
This is a lot of fun playing this way.
Yeah, it is.
Could it always be this way?
Yeah, I hope so. What we got to do is just continue to focus on the defensive end, and we've been doing a pretty good job of it so far, and we just got to keep it up.
Dan?
All right, thank you very much. Kobe Bryant with some smiles. Just 4 for 12 from the floor, but a 13-point lead for the Lakers. Great job at the bench. Coming up on the Toyota halftime show, LeBron breaks out for the Cavs. The Celtics with a big win, and Bill Walton will have his three-pointers for you. Can the Suns make a run in the second half? Down 13 to the Lakers. Let's go back to Stuart Scott in the studio.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Tip-Off, presented by Converse. Brought to you by the Fun to Drive Kia Spectra. Kia, the power to surprise. And Tony Hawk's Proving Ground, in stores now. NBA Tip-Off, presented by Converse.
Back here in Phoenix, the home opener to the regular season for the Phoenix Suns, where the Los Angeles Lakers have been the story. A 63-50 lead as we go to the second half. Hi again, everybody. Dan Shulman and Hubie Brown with you. Plain and simple, how have the Lakers done this?
Hey, when you shoot 53%, the bench scores 31 points. It makes it a lot easier on everyone. But we had some great play, good teamwork. Kobe starts off, he knocks in a couple early for the Lakers, setting a style here that I'm on fire, I'm going to get it going. And also he added 9 rebounds. Now then you chip in, you had Fisher and then you had Radmanovic knocking in deep shots on the perimeter. Then you had Crittenden running the back door, beautiful move, and then Bynum. So you can see that it was a cast of characters. Now here, look at this, Radmanovic 11, Fisher, he started, but Walton, Farmer, Bynum, Crittenden, everyone chipping in. All right, so you just got to look at it and say, Dan, they played a perfect half. They shot a high percentage. They ended at 53%. They're dominating the boards at a plus 11. Can they keep it up? That's the question.
The big three for the Phoenix Suns is a group for big comebacks and incredible offensive numbers. But in the first half, especially Nash's assists and Stoudemire, a very quiet first half for the Suns.
Well, the team is only shooting 42%. They're struggling, and they're also struggling on the line. But for them in this building, a 13-point minus is you just don't even sweat it. They can come back on the road, at home, whatever the deficit is on most nights. The one thing about them is they never stop the pace. So you now, in the second half, can you rebound? Can your bench come in and shoot the high percentage that they did? And then most important, can you stop them off the dribble in the second half?
As you mentioned a couple of times in the first half, and it bears repeating, this is the back end of a back-to-back for the Phoenix Suns. They were up in Seattle last night, had a hard-fought game. They won it, but they didn't get back home until the middle of the night. And will they have enough left in the tank in the fourth quarter to really wear down the Lakers?
Now, the last night, give Seattle a lot of credit. They were up 3 at the end of 3, and then a 10-point plus for Phoenix in the last quarter. They win it by 7.
Ball tipped away. Torioff comes up with a loose ball, and the rebound brought down by Skinner, who starts the second half in place of Amare Stoudemire. Stoudemire is getting ready to check in as we speak. Brown knocks it away.
Now you got to go hard.
And the big fella jams it home.
Now that was a beautiful deflection. Now in the first half, the Lakers center position, Bynum and then Kwame Brown. They had a great half. 10 points, 13 rebounds.
Phil Jackson take that kind of production every night.
Every night, absolutely.
Kobe Bryant defending Nash. And it is kicked out of bounds, knocked out of bounds by Derek Fisher as we check in with Rick Buford.
Mike D'Antoni said this mirrors our start last night. This is 2 games in a row where we've started off fat and happy. We're just, the mental energy isn't there. We've fallen asleep. Maybe we were listening to too many people saying how good we are.
Well, a lot of people came into the season, Rick, good point, talking about how good they are with the addition of Grant Hill, and perhaps you'll be playing with 2 on the shot clock. The long shot put up by Stoudemire. This Phoenix team, after the way last season ended, the loss to San Antonio in the second round, you would think they would come into this season playing with a little bit of extra determination.
Dan, 82 games. We have a long way to go. Okay, come on now. I mean, last year they started 1-5.
Yeah, that's right. They wound up winning 61.
Well, that's not a bad number. Only 2 teams won 60 last year. They won 61, and Dallas won 67. So, we only had 7 teams win over 50 games.
And there it is, one of a number of teams that started slowly and wound up putting together impressive seasons. Dallas started 0-4 and wound up with the best record in the league. Offensive foul, Kwame Brown.
See, to me, I thought that was a good move by Grant Hill. He sacrificed his body, but he definitely flopped. All right, Kwame Brown tries to stop on a dime. Now, just keep an eye on this. See, he's going to put it down. All right, he takes it, boom, and as he goes to make the reverse move, Grant Hill just bounces right off it.
Nash trying to get free. The pull-up from inside the arc, a little strong. Rebound, Walt.
Oh, what a pass. What a pass. That was great eye contact with Luke Walton and Kobe Bryant.
A 17-point lead for the Lakers as they continue to have their way with the Suns at the offensive end of the floor. Hill's 10-footer rims out.
Now that's the first time Kwame Brown has stepped up to challenge the dribbler coming off of the screen.
Kobe Bryant uses the screen from Walton but misses the long jumper. The Suns, as always, looking to push. Nash into traffic, looking for the call, doesn't get it.
Well, it had to be something, okay? Whether you're going to call a charge or a foul, but it had to be something. And from our angle, it was definitely a foul.
That rebound, the 10th of the night from Kobe Bryant. Rebound, Marion. Nash pushing again. Using the Stoudemire screen, knocks down the jumper.
If you are the man playing the screener, you've got to give a little bit of help without losing the man if he should roll to the basket. You cannot allow Nash to continue to come up over the top because he's wide open.
16 for Nash. He's the high scorer in this game. Fisher was hot early. Knocked away by Nash, and he's got it.
Yeah, that was a great steal.
Nice look.
Oh, what a look.
Grant Hill.
When you're playing with great passers, you continue to run the floor because you know with your extra effort, the ball will be there. Beautiful pass.
Mike D'Antoni getting big minutes out of Grant Hill, even on the back end of a back-to-back, saying trainers and doctors have told him Hill is fine. His biggest problem is that he's 35 years old, but he's looking to get 30 minutes a night out of Grant Hill. Now Hill can help here, too, bringing the ball all the way up the court, starting the offense.
He's an excellent dribbler in the open floor.
Stoudemire can't finish. Rebound, Walton. A very quiet night, as you can see, for Amare Stoudemire, first-team All-NBA a year ago.
See, the Lakers have got to get in the triangle. Right now, they've been out of whack. Oh, now right there. See, that's... So I'm Kwame Brown. I'm really upset because Grant Hill had a hold of me, and when I went to roll down into the post-up area, I was definitely held in foul. I'll tell you what, Grant Hill is under a shining star here tonight.
A charge on Stoudemire. Walton gives up his body. The crowd is booing the officials right now more than they're booing the home team.
Well, in that situation, you're happy to see that a visiting player was able to get the call on a charge.
Walton takes the bump. The Lakers lead by 13.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Tip-Off, presented by Converse. Brought to you by Dodge. Live life to the fullest. Dodge. Grab life. Adidas. Run with a brotherhood. Text team to Adidas. Impossible is nothing. And Prestone antifreeze on the yellow jug. Prestone protection. Easy to choose, easy to use.
And welcome back inside the U.S. Airways Center, the home opener for the Phoenix Suns. But the Lakers are stealing the show right now, 67-54. We are lucky here at UVA tonight to watch two of the most creative passers in the NBA. Steve Nash, the assist leader of each of the last 3 years, switches hands, finds Grant Hill on the run. But how about this pass from Luke Walton?
Now look at the top. Now you're going to see Kobe Bryant come around. This is eye contact with Luke Walton. But watch where he passes the ball. How about right through the legs of the defender? A beautiful bounce pass that Kobe just picks it up and sends it down.
Walton, your point forward, doing a lot of good things for the Lakers. Here he is handling at the top, being defended by Grant Hill. Fisher from the elbow.
Nice. Fisher, you know, you get him in that 17-foot game. He's a nice, solid shooter, a good percentage guy. But then, under pressure, for some way, the guy can make three-point shots when the game is on the line.
6 for 8 tonight, a dozen points for the Lakers. Getting great contributions from all of their complementary players. It's not just a Kobe Bryant show tonight. Stoudemire continues to struggle.
Yeah, he's struggling, and Kwame Brown is not allowing him to beat him off the dribble, Dan.
Stoudemire, Hubie, 1 for 7 tonight. Brown attacks Stoudemire at the other end, and a foul is called. And what's upset Stoudemire and the Suns is it was the official the furthest away from the play that made the call.
But the two closest guys missed the call, okay? I mean, this isn't even just watch as he drops to the baseline. You're going to look at that. What are you kidding me? I mean, that's a mugging on the baseline, and the two guys who were there never even blew their whistle. You're absolutely right.
4th foul on Stoudemire, and this is one of the big stories heading into the season for the Phoenix Suns. And Stoudemire played a lot of center last year, but as you said earlier, he gives up height, he gives up weight. Can he play defense against bigger people without getting into foul trouble?
No, that's the big question mark. Because if they have to go to the bench, you say, well, they'll play Diaw. You go with Diaw, now you're a smaller ball club. You look over 82 games, hey, not a problem at all. Because you won a lot of games. But not when you get to that second and third round of the playoffs, because the other team has quality big people.
Especially in this conference.
That's right.
There's Diaw with a long jumper, the assist to Nash. It's a 13-point lead now for the Lakers.
Well, they're hoping that Diaw will get out of his funk from a year ago. He worked all summer. He lost the body fat, went down from 13% down to 8. So they like how he came into camp.
Fisher over Nash.
Nice.
Tough shot.
Yeah, he can do that. He can take the one dribble down in your face, or he can take it 2 or 3 dribbles and go up.
Knocks it away from Nash. Laker basketball. Nash seething, staring down an official again.
Oh, Kwame Brown. Nice.
Hurry off from Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant allowed Kwame Brown to go right through Dan, and he took the defender with him, and that opened it up for Curry. A beautiful pass.
You gotta love the way the Lakers are sharing the basketball tonight. Nash answers with a 3.
Tell you can't go to the bathroom tonight. Okay? I mean, nobody got it. I mean, you're liable to take a bite out of your sandwich and miss 2 baskets.
You blink, you're going to miss something here tonight. And the Lakers are putting on a show. Phoenix is going to need a big-time rally, an offensive explosion here in the last quarter and a half to get back into it.
You waited too long there.
Yeah. Kobe was begging for the basketball. Walton says, I'll bury a 3.
Walton says, I love the pressure tonight. You're on fire. Kobe, just keep running in the post. Let me take those uncontested jumpers.
Nash looking for a screen. Marion, 3 threes in the first half. Not this time.
Right now, the 2 big guys, Curry F and Kwame Brown, are sucking wind a little bit here.
We've got subs coming in for the Lakers. Kobe looks fine as he lays it in. And the Lakers have their largest lead of the night. Another assist for Luke Walton.
Dan, that was the only time that they had an open floor. And that was a great cut by Kobe.
Raja Bell, it rims out a rebound. Kwame Brown having a big night on the glass. The Lakers with the ball and a commanding lead here in Phoenix.
Smart move by Fisher to slow it down. He has to slow it down because of his players at the power forward and center. They got to get a blow here.
Walton. Turioff keeps it alive.
Good hustle.
An impressive performance thus far from the Lakers in all aspects of the game.
Absolutely. You can see Luke Walton right here now. He's trying to get a blow.
Marion fouls Kwame Brown.
Now this is just, they made a great pass. The defender went through because he tried to pick up Kwame Brown, open it up, and then Luke Walk with the shot blocked down. It's just been a magical time for them this evening. Now the big key, can you keep it up for the 48 minutes?
Best record in the league last year. Let's go back to Dan and Hubie.
All right, Stuart, we talk about unpredictability early in the season. Atlanta, a very young, talented team. How about the Lakers? Kobe Bryant's got some young talent around him, and they're playing great tonight. Kobe Bryant's had a nice night, but, man, has he gotten some help?
Absolutely. Now, they're running two guys on Kobe every time he puts the ball down the floor. It's opening up other people. They're making the extra passes, and then naturally the team is shooting a high percentage. They're solid at 54%. Now, this young guy right here, Kwame Brown, already has 9 rebounds. But the thing that he's got to improve on is his foul shooting percentage, because he's going to get fouled. And he's got to shoot better than 50%.
And there wasn't much drop-off at all when Andrew Bynum came in for Kwame Brown in the first half, and a two-headed monster in the middle for the Lakers tonight. 1 of 2 from the line for Brown, with the Bynum ready to check in. Barbosa has checked into the game for Phoenix.
Barbosa and Diaw had very few minutes in that first half.
Stoudemire remains on the bench. He's got 4 fouls. Great anticipation by Kobe. He's got Farmar with him. The trailer, Radmanovic.
Good call.
And another foul on Phoenix.
That was an excellent call. If you're going to take that charge, you got to be outside of the defensive circle, right in front of that basket. But I like what Radmanovic did. Instead of he gave the ball up. When Kobe gave it to him, he came down, he looked, and then he made his move. Right? Excellent basketball. Now he goes to the line. Now Radmanovic had a great first half. A terrific first half.
Knocked down a couple of long-range shots while Radmanovic goes to the line. Let's go to Rick Bucher.
If you guys have noticed, Brian Skinner played the first couple of seconds of the third quarter. That wasn't out of design. Amare Stoudemire assumed because of his foul trouble or because that mental energy that's simply not there was not ready to go in. So they subbed him in at the first opportunity. But that is exactly a reflection of where this team's mental acuity is right now.
Not a good sign for Mike D'Antoni, and then Stoudemire came back in, but it quickly picked up his 4th foul, went right back to the bench. An 8-0 run for the Lakers, a 22-point lead, knocked down to 20 after the floater by Marion.
Anytime you get Marion on a down screen as he's coming into the lane, it's nice to watch because he has a very high percentage floater touch.
Turiaf has it knocked away by Marion. Into the hands of Nash. Nice look, Bell. And the outside shot just has not gone down tonight for the Suns like it normally does. Normally a great three-point shooting team.
Yes, they are. They're number 1 in the league at a shade under 40%. Tonight, 5 for 17.
Turiaf with a long jumper. Everybody's getting in on the act tonight for the Lakers. Late whistle and a call there as Nash is knocked to the floor.
Now Phoenix are going to make a run, Dan. We're talking a shade under 3 minutes and then the 4th quarter. They need the 3-point shot. Now it isn't like they're not getting good looks. They're getting excellent looks. They just cannot make the shot. But that's what you worry about.
Bell with a good look. Can't knock it down. Bynum a strong rebound with Skinner on his back. Phoenix needs some stops, too. The Lakers at 83 points with 2.5 to go in the third.
Yeah, you're 2 guys. Kobe has 2 guys on him all night here.
Again, the extra pass. Radmanovic. It's a clinic right now for the Lakers.
You love it when great shooters just catch the ball and shoot it, and they're behind the 3-point line. And you can see this young guy, Radmanovic. Now, watch the double team on Kobe. Kobe makes the 1 pass, boom, and then they make the extra pass, which is always perfect. The second pass out of the trap will open you up in the NBA.
A very productive Vladimir Radmanovic, 16 points in 13 minutes off the bench. Bynum. That's becoming a go-to move. He's used that about 3 times tonight.
Hey, the baby hook. Why not? I'm 7 foot. I'm shooting up over the top of guys who are 6'10", and I'm making it look easy.
Guy who is the youngest player in league history when he debuted a couple of seasons ago. Kobe behind the back. No look pass to Radmanovic.
Oh, pretty.
Turning off from Bryant.
Now, that's what you want. That's what you want from young guys. When you are inside, you always tell your young people, dunk the ball strong with 2 hands. All right, then there is no, don't go up weak because they'll get fouled, and then you've got to go to the foul line and make foul shots. Send it home with authority.
This is a stunner here tonight. The Lakers crushing the Suns.
Jeff Gordon is just 3 races away from a possible 5th NASCAR Next Cup championship. But Smart Racing has Jimmy Johnson just 9 points back as he chases a 2nd straight title. The duel continues in Texas Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
Now Jimmy Johnson coming off consecutive wins at Martinsville and Atlanta. He has moved within 9 points of the leader, his teammate, Jeff Gordon. The NASCAR Next Cup continues this Sunday at 3 Eastern live on ABC from the Texas Motor Speedway. The Lakers have been looking like a finely tuned machine so far tonight with 90 points. What has gone wrong for the Suns tonight? The unquestioned best offensive team in the NBA each of the last 2 years.
Well, they're challenging them on all their shots. They're only shooting 39% from the field, but they cannot make the open threes, and that's been the big difference in the game here because that's where they catch you. They keep getting the extra points. Last year, they were a shade under 10 3 makes per game. That's staggering.
Staggering is the bench advantage tonight as well, as you saw 38-11 in favor of the Lakers. Raja Bell comes up with a loose ball. Phoenix with a rare opportunity to run. They haven't been able to push as much tonight as they normally do. And they still cannot capitalize.
Give the Lakers a ton of credit because their deflections, defensive deflections, you change the route of the pass. And they have done a terrific job on that, but they're also attacking the dribblers, Dan, and getting a lot of free balls.
Their energy level has been outstanding all night long.
Already they have 8 steals. Now, we told you the other night against Houston, they had a banner game against Houston when they came in, with 16 steals. So you can see them tonight. They're quick afoot, and they're doing a terrific job helping one another.
Phil Jackson goes smaller. Turiaf out. Javaris Crittenden in. And Bell misses a jumper over Crittenden.
Well, right now, Phoenix, they can't make their threes, and they have no inside game.
And again for the Lakers, an entire second unit on the floor right now. There is not a starter in the game for Los Angeles. Evans absorbs the bump and finishes strong.
He's got a nice game off the dribble, and he's not afraid of body contact down inside.
No Nash, no Stoudemire in the game right now for Phoenix. Diaw with another jumper. Look at the advantage for the Lakers in this third quarter. It was a 13-point lead at the half of the Lakers, and they have extended that. At one point had a 17-2 run. And Hill is fouled as he tumbles over Evans.
All right, now you look at the shooting, you just got to tell them, look, no turnovers, guys. Please be careful with the basketball.
The final few seconds of the third quarter. Kobe Bryant's going to be happy with the play of his teammates. A look at the NBA calendar. NBA TV on Saturday night at 8:30 Eastern. Portland at Houston. A doubleheader here on ESPN Wednesday. Heat at Spurs. And then LeBron and the Cavaliers taking on Utah. Thursday night on TNT. The Bulls hosting the Pistons. And then Dallas is at Golden State.
The only 2 guys for Phoenix are having big games, Nash and Marion. They need the supporting it. Well, Stoudemire's got fouled. Well, then you got to have Barbosa. So right now you're hoping that Barbosa wakes up.
They just cannot stop the Lakers. Radmanovic, full of confidence, drills another 3 at the horn. What an impressive display tonight for the Lakers. 95 points through 3 quarters. And a commanding and somewhat stunning lead on the Phoenix Suns.
The coach may be new, but the faces are familiar. Led by Big Ben, the Steelers are back in a familiar spot, division leaders. It's been a troubled start for Baltimore. Can Ray and the Ravens turn things around? Steelers-Ravens for the division lead at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN's Monday Night Football.
Looking forward to that with Mike, Tony, and Jaws. Here in the fourth quarter, as we go to the fourth, the Lakers 95 and Phoenix 67. Stoudemire has returned for the Suns, and DJ Strawberry is in for the first time as well as Grant Hill knocks down the jumper.
Well, the main thing missing from the Phoenix game, we've been talking about the low shooting percentage. They can't make a three, but two key guys, Stoudemire and Bell, are 2 for 15.
Crittenden feeds Evans on the wing. Bynum uncontested underneath.
Well, right now they're small, okay? Right when you say Phoenix right now, you're looking out there, they're playing with 4 small guys and Stoudemire. So right now, you have the Laker front court guys have got to understand, bang the boards on the offensive end.
Strawberry misses the 3 from the corner. The rookie out of Maryland, a very good defender, and Darryl Strawberry's son, second round pick, 59th overall by the Suns. He comes up with a steal. Forcing the issue on Farmar, misses the layup.
Nice. That was excellent defense by Farmar. You know, he pushed Strawberry into an angle that he could not use the board correctly.
Farmar tells Evans to get out of the way.
Now, when you pass to the corner in a triangle, that's what you're supposed to do.
Shot clock violation.
Yeah, it was like he tilted it. When you pass in the corner, you cut off the screen, then they come with a screen and roll. And unfortunately, they lost too many minutes there.
A dismal third quarter for the Phoenix Suns. They were down 63 to 50 at halftime, and then were outscored 32 to 17 in the third. Diaw all alone. Vujicic back into the game for Crittenden in the backcourt for the Lakers. Farmar at the point. Kobe Bryant getting so much help here tonight. Has not had to play big minutes. Has not had to take a ton of shots. Farmar's floater. Strawberry for the Suns. Vujicic gambles. Barbosa. Stoudemire. It has been a while for Amare Stoudemire.
You know, you're coaching your team. You're up over 20-some odd points a game. You're just trying to tell them, listen, transition game, don't gamble, all right? Don't gamble because we don't want to give up three-point play. Big thing is play position, play what we're doing. We've been playing excellent basketball all night long.
Does it surprise you how many young players don't come into the league with an awareness of score, clock, situation, and how things change?
Yeah, but that's the coaching staff. The coaching staff's got to get on them, all right? And they understand. They got to learn how to win at this level because you're playing an extra 8 minutes a game versus what you come into the league from. 40 minutes to 48 is a major jump.
Turnaround by Vujicic. The Lakers on the verge of going over 100 points with better than 9 minutes to go in the game. Long jumper, Stoudemire. Rebound of Vujicic.
Now, if you're the Lakers, every jump shot, you're happy that Phoenix is taking a jump shot because they're struggling, and then naturally, they're struggling from the three.
Vujicic not shy, is he?
No, he isn't.
They can't miss. A 30-point lead for the Lakers. Stoudemire driving on Bynum.
Big kid, he's 7 foot, long arms, and when he puts his arms up, he doesn't have to go for the shot block because it's difficult to get the shot up over the top of him.
And now Bynum called for the foul.
But you knew that was going in.
Right. Well, it hasn't been the Kobe Bryant show tonight, but it has surely been the Los Angeles Lakers show. And nobody's happier than Kobe Bryant himself.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Tip-Off, presented by Converse. The Wade 3 basketball shoe won't silence the doubters. You had to do that. And in part by Courtyard by Marriott, redesigned by business travelers for business travelers. And Absolute Vodka.
Back inside the U.S. Airways Center here in Phoenix, Dan Shulman, Hubie Brown, and Rick Bucher with you. The results from the Sports Nation poll. Who will win the Western Conference? Who will represent the West in the NBA Finals? You had four choices: the Spurs, the Mavs, the Suns, or somebody else. Right now, San Antonio and Phoenix in a dead heat, each at 29%. You can even click on Hubie and go state by state to see what the voting looks like. And in Colorado, somebody else is the choice, so they're voting for the Nuggets. They're voting for Carmelo and AI, and in Utah, again, somebody else is the choice. They're voting for Darren Williams and Carlos Boozer. And you know what? There are a lot of choices. A lot of teams could, as stacked as the West is, a lot of teams could come out of this conference.
Right. Let's just give a nice round of applause for the centers for the Lakers. Bynum and Brown right now have 17 points, 17 rebounds, and then, along with it, 4 assists. And they've had Amare Stoudemire under check, where he's only 2 for 10 from the floor. Now that is an excellent ball game up to this point.
Bynum just picked up another rebound. How about the team rebounding numbers? 47 to 25. Bynum right back up strong. Couldn't finish. Radmanovic. And the rebound to Diop.
Once again now, that was Skinner's 4th block.
Strawberry with a slam at the other end. One of the few easy baskets by Phoenix standards that they've been able to get here tonight.
Well, that's only their 10th point on fast breaks, and we know that's a factor where they usually dominate night in and night out because it helps their shooting percentage.
Evans, great drive.
He's been able to get in the lane 3 times now, and he'll take it strong to the rim.
Yeah, when he lowers that shoulder, he's going to absorb the hit. Nash is still not in the game, and Mike D'Antoni, he might be thinking about the future more than tonight at this point with this huge lead for the Lakers in the 4th quarter.
Well, the people in the building are in shock.
Yeah.
Right? There's no doubt about it. They are accustomed to defeating, the Lakers easily when they come to town.
The Suns have won 10 of their last 12 regular season games against the Lakers as Banks knocks down a jumper. Great passing from the Lakers tonight. Great energy, winning the battles for the loose balls, out rebounding them by almost a 2-1 margin. Maybe that ball's hot in his hands. He needs to get rid of it in a hurry, doesn't he?
It's kind of interesting that they brought Bynum all the way out to the top of the circle, and then they ran a split that time, and they end up taking a long jump shot.
Strawberry. Outside shooting, not the #1 strength of his game. He slithers inside and misses the layup, but he's a guy, 59th overall draft, second last pick of the 2nd round. He's going to help this Phoenix team. Bryant enjoying some minutes on the bench. The second unit has been phenomenal for the Lakers.
See, that's what you want. When you have second units out there, make the penetration and then give it up, and then that will keep your big guys working. That was a beautiful pass.
Bynum from Vujacic. Out the miss, and Bynum with yet another rebound. He's not even having to battle anybody for rebounds right now.
Well, right now he's a dominant. Now Skinner's out there. Skinner has 4 blocks, but right now the rest of the fellows are all small.
12 rebounds for Bynum.
Okay, bad. That time Radmanovic, overpassed. All he had to do was fake the pass. He had a nice, easy shot.
Barbosa, 109-78. The Lakers up 13 in the half and are now up by 31 midway through the 4th quarter. And the U.S. Airways Center has started to empty out. They came here for the home opener looking for another win over the Lakers, and they're going to go home sorely disappointed tonight.
As long as the Lakers with this group out here runs the offense the way it's supposed to be run, you'll run time off the clock, you'll get high percentage shots. Phoenix, they're not really after you right now. They're going through the motions defensively.
59 bench points for the Lakers tonight. Skinner short on the jumper. Strawberry right into the chest of Bynum, who stood his ground.
That's right. You don't have to jump, big fella. You got those big arms.
Vujicic with the extra step. Vujicic, Bynum, every Laker having some fun here in Phoenix tonight. ESPN's NBA Friday is available on ESPN HD, presented by Olivia. The Los Angeles Lakers shocking the Phoenix Suns tonight, 111-78, right here at Phoenix. The home opener for the Suns. Phil Jackson has gotten unbelievable performances off his bench from the likes of Bynum, Radmanovic, Evans, Vujicic. This has the potential to be the worst home loss in the 40-year history of the Phoenix Suns. They're down 33 now. Twice they have lost by 37, and coincidentally both times to the Lakers.
You have to look at the Laker bench and give them all the credit. They have 59 points in this game, but they are 23 for 32 from the field.
Got another timeout, and we'll take a short break and be back after this. The Suns. The second one evidently was taken, we are told, by Laker coach Phil Jackson. And Mike D'Antoni, he's got a grimace. He's got a scowl. He's got a little bit more than that going on right now. He is not a happy guy.
He's a hell of a teacher. See, this is professional basketball. You cannot get upset, whether it's pro basketball, college basketball, high school.
And now Phil Jackson has heard what D'Antoni is yelling at him, right, and Phil Jackson has responded. They're yelling at each other from their benches.
Well, you see, when you're up this way, you have no idea what he's trying to talk about. Phil Jackson called a timeout. He has a young basketball team out here right now. He wants them to possibly pay attention. Whatever he called it for, he wants to talk to them. I would say that he had something to talk about from the teaching standpoint.
Barbosa knocks down a three. Let's check in with Rick Bucher.
Yeah, Mike D'Antoni's words for Phil Jackson and the Lakers was, "We're good. We've got 3 more games with you. We're good." Quite clearly, this rivalry has taken another step forward.
Already one of the more interesting rivalries in the NBA in recent years.
When you've had professional teams, some nights you just can't get it together, and we're seeing one of the truly great teams in this league have one of the worst nights that they've had in years.
Right.
In years. Now, they can't throw the ball in the hole, 39%. They're 22% in threes, 68% on the line, and we're talking a team that is number 1 in each of those 3 categories. So this is a major, major adjustment for not only the players, but the coaching staff. And then the fans. Everyone is sitting here. They cannot believe what they're seeing.
We talked about how this is the second game of a back-to-back. The Suns were up in Seattle. How much would you attribute to fatigue, and how much have they just simply been outplayed tonight?
No, well, they've definitely been outplayed, and that's where you start. And you have to own up to the fact that you got a very shabby performance from your ball club. They could not make their shots, but give the other people a ton of credit. Yep. They had tenacious defense. They forced your best shooters. Right now, with Stoudemire and Bell, they're 3 for 18. 2 key guys for you in your starting unit. Barbosa off the bench just got double figures, but it's too late. The game is down. So 3 key guys for you could not get going when you needed it. So let's give them a little bit of credit. And then the second unit has been absolutely outstanding for the Lakers.
Extraordinary. That was Evans to Bynum for another easy 2. DL answers with a jumper at this end. The Lakers, too, are playing without their second-best player. Lamar Odom is still out. Recovering from shoulder surgery, also was involved in a car accident recently and suffered a mild concussion. They're hoping to get him back within a week or 2. So their second-best player hasn't played. Their best player in Kobe Bryant has not been forced to score a lot or take a lot of shots, and still they have this monster lead on the Suns.
It's just amazing. The 2 centers for the Lakers have 21 rebounds. But how about the fact that Kobe Bryant has 11, and he's only played 27 minutes.
The Suns getting a chance to run a little bit, but as you said, way too little, way too late as Barbosa lays it in. And again, the bench numbers, it looks like a misprint, but it's 63 points for the Laker bench tonight. The second unit has been phenomenal. Crittenden. And He'll go to the line.
You go back over this ball game right from the get-go, the opening tap. The Lakers' defense has been tenacious. Then their offensive ball movement in that first half was outstanding. They got to try to duplicate that as we move through the season. But everyone was not going for the selfish one-on-one stuff. They were making the extra pass, doing the screening, running the triangle the way you're supposed to run it.
And out of rebounding them 52-30 right now.
Major.
So for one night at least, if you're a Laker or a Laker fan, maybe the focus swings a little bit away from the Kobe Bryant saga to the actual on-court play of the team. Barbosa with 2 more. 11 Lakers have scored. Brian Cook, who's on the floor, is the only one who hasn't. Bynum in traffic, forces it up. And Bynum with yet another rebound, slapped away by Skinner, and the whistle comes late as he's called for the foul.
Bynum is like a vacuum cleaner. Yeah, right? It's amazing. I mean, he makes it look so easy. He has such great hands then, such great hands. The ball can be away from him, and he'll just snatch it out of the air. And when you look at it right now, the young guy is on a tear. 14 points and 13 rebounds.
Off the bench.
Right, and he has not played a half a game.
Yep. Vujacic, and he's called for the offensive foul. 21 minutes for Bynum, and he's got a double-double. Here's the upcoming schedule for the Lakers. They'll go home for the next 3 against the Jazz, Hornets, and T-Wolves before a dreaded road trip into the state of Texas where they take on San Antonio and Houston.
Well, this will be a challenge for them now. You know, they got to shape up at home. They lost the heartbreaker to Houston by 2 points the other night in L.A., and they missed 18 foul shots.
Phoenix will host Cleveland on the weekend, and then they'll head out on a 4-game swing through the Southeast. Charlotte, Atlanta, Miami, Orlando. And I know you saw Atlanta with a big win tonight over Dallas. You think that Hawk team is improving in a hurry?
Absolutely. They're too deep at every position. Their 2 rookies are outstanding. Horford and Law in the backcourt, Horford up front. So they're too deep with quality guys. And if they can stay healthy, they have shot blocking, they have inside play, they have excellent perimeter shooters, and then they're quick in the open court. The big thing for them is to be consistent night in and night out.
Vujacic with a miss. Here comes Diaw. As we near the final minute of the game, the Lakers are going to pull off a lopsided win on the road against Phoenix. Barbosa's padding his stats here in the 4th quarter, making this game seem a little bit closer than it actually was for much of the second half. Vujacic fouled by Strawberry.
I'm sorry, Dan. The Laker coaching staff, see, with this group out here now in the last 5 minutes, they're going to have a picnic with them. Because they're going to say, listen, all night long, here we are, 43 minutes. We played great team basketball, made the extra pass. And right now, fellas, you're all going one-on-one because you want to get some points. So, you know, even though you have a great win and stuff, tomorrow you can really do a lot of teaching here.
Vujacic, who has not been shy to shoot the ball, has 11 points in 14 minutes tonight. Radmanovic, 19 points in 22 minutes off the bench. Some guys lighting it up. 65 bench points now for the Lakers. Kobe Bryant will wind up with a quiet 16, but a double-double. And they didn't need more from him tonight than that because they got so much from everybody else. Crittenden. That about sums it up for the Lakers tonight. The extra pass, the wide open jumper, and 2 more bench points. Strawberry.
At this time of the game, no one wants to take it out.
Everybody's running down the other end.
Exactly right.
Yeah, get it to me down there.
Yeah, right.
Well, time will expire on the Suns. What an impressive performance by the Los Angeles Lakers as they even up their record at 1-1. The Suns will drop to 1-1. A stunner here in Phoenix tonight as the Lakers pummel the Suns 119-98. And again, it wasn't the Kobe show tonight. Phil Jackson got tremendous performances from just about everybody on his roster.
Yeah, you just love it. Great team play, but it was anchored with their outstanding rebounding, solid defense, putting a lot of pressure on Phoenix, and then their complete domination of the boards.
Let's go to Rick Bucher again.
What does this effort from your teammates say to you?
Well, we're committed to playing hard. I mean, that's been our staple. That's something that we talked about in training camp coming into this season, is that if we want to get to another level, we have to push ourselves to get there. So that means playing hard every single day.
And how much of this is the rivalry with Phoenix, and how much of this is a difficult situation and an opportunity to sort of burn off some energy?
It's a very difficult situation. You know, we just had a tough game in Houston. You know, Shane hit a big three. Coming into tonight's game, we really wanted to prove to ourselves that we could compete. And we came out, played with a lot of effort. That's what we have to do.
Now, a lot of people are going to look at this result and say, hey, maybe this team can contend. Maybe Kobe doesn't have to go anywhere. What do you say to those people?
I don't say anything to them. You know, the only people I focus on are my teammates. The guys in the locker room, the guys on the bench. You know, that's all I focus on. And us just coming out every day with that kind of effort, and you know, playing with this kind of effort every day in practice. You know, that's really the key for a young team, is to understand that kind of work ethic that we need to have every day.
The extra passing, the execution, it was as crisp as we've seen from this team. What was the reason for that?
I think we're starting to get it a little bit. You know, guys are just putting their individual stuff aside and just moving the basketball. But the key really is defensively. You know, defensively is where our effort has to be. Offensively, you know, the shots come and go, but defensively is where we have to kind of make our stamp.
That's Kobe Bryant, quiet 16, but a big win. Back to you, Dan.
All right, Rick, thank you. Well, they held the highest scoring team in the league the last few years, under 100 points here tonight, as the Lakers stunned the Suns here in Phoenix, 119-98. Kobe with 16, but there were 5 Lakers in double figures, and the bench for the Lakers scored 65 points here tonight. Again, the final from Phoenix, the Lakers 119 and the Suns 98. Coming up next here on ESPN, it is SportsCenter with John Abuchagras and Linda Cohn. For Hubie Brown, Rick Bucher, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dan Shulman, thanking you for watching tonight. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.